Um, this whole idea of high ethical standards and governance, what does it mean, actually? What are these guys talking about? What was not ethical or not ethical? What was governance? You know, because I associate, for example, I have grown up thinking the Tata brand is incredibly ethical. And of course, we're not talking about the structures of the trusts and this and that. But, you know, Tata's is like, I think, to spin off from what you were talking about, it was like, I work for the Tatas. Right. Okay, nobody says, what do you do with the Tatas, right? If I say I work for the Adanis, they'll be like, what are you doing with the Adanis? You know, I mean, let's face it. So tell me what this whole thing means, actually.
Okay, in the context of the Tata Mistry issue, the question was never about the end action. The question was always about how it was done. Okay. The governance questions that were raised were on the way the board meeting proceeded in which he was expelled. Sure. And the board meeting is actually quite in a detailed fashion narrated in the book. Yeah. About who said what and how it was done in terms of there were 2 new directors. Were these directors, in fact, only inducted with the intention of doing this or not? So I think the governance issue was less about the firing of Cyrus Mistry and about the transparency with which it was done. What is meant by governance globally is a degree of transparency, a degree of accountability towards shareholders, which in this case did lapse. I mean, if you look at it, $3.6 billion of net worth was wiped away in 2 days of Cyrus Mistry's firing. So somebody in the stock market lost a lot of money. Okay. And that is what regulations of transparency and corporate governance are there to hedge. I think subsequent to this issue, you now have the Kotak committee report and a higher culpability on independent directors. You have more accountability with shareholders. You also have a rising degree of involvement of minority shareholders with the group. And eventually that is the premise under which Cyrus Mistry filed his lawsuit. He filed a lawsuit under the provisions for minority shareholder rights being undermined.